Hello, I'm Dr. Priya Hassan and I teach at Maulana Azad National Urdu University in India. And today we'll be talking about Latex and Overleaf, which are two very important tools which when you do scientific publication. So let's get on to it. I hope you can see my screen. I will get one more. Okay, so we're going to talk about LaTeX and Overleaf. This is basically what is used for academic and scientific writing. Okay, and I'll describe to you how is it that we actually use it, and it is used. You could do high quality documents, you could write your thesis, you could write articles with it, as well as even make presentations. Right? So that's very useful. And here are my details. You'll always get in touch with me if you need anything. So let's first of all start about LaTeX. LaTeX is basically a document preparation system, okay, which excels at typesetting. So the one that you must have already used is Word, right? It uses what is called a markup language. It gives users precise control of their element. But in LaTeX, what happens is it very beautifully sets up your document in the sense of putting your equations in a certain way. It does it in a very well-defined manner, which we'll talk about this thing. The book that I'm showing you in this picture is a book on LaTeX, which is by Leslie Lamport. And this is the standard to-go book if you want to start learning LaTeX to actually use this book and look for it. So it's a very useful book to use. Otherwise, other than that, there's lots of online material. You can use that also for your reference. Now, typically, this is what a LaTeX document looks like. Unlike Word, this is what is called command driven. Okay, so here you have a sample document. For example, you write document class article, use package. This is the package which you use for mathematical symbols, right? So it's called AMS Math. You say the title is simple sample, my name, you give the date. See, the good thing in this, you can say your date is today, right? And the system basically looks for what is today's date and accordingly gives you today's date for your listing. You could do various things like make titles, sections, equations, etc. In sections also, what is the good thing is supposing I put this section and then later on I add another section before the section, right? It renumbers the sections depending upon how you place it. So you don't need to worry about writing section 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. It will itself figure it out what is the order. Similarly, it works like that with equations, with figures, with tables, with everything. Depending on where it appears, it will automatically give it a number. And that's what makes it very, very easy because, for example, if you had a Word document and you inserted a table in between, you will have to renumber all your tables. In this case, you don't need to do that because it has been put inside and it figures out that if there's a section before this, this will be the number before that. So your document will look something like this, simple sample, my name, this, that, and this all is as per a certain, this thing. Oh, now look at this. Here you can see equations, a squared plus b squared is c squared, or gamma squared plus theta squared is omega squared. If you look over here, you actually do it very simple. You say big equation. You can see over here, you have gamma squared. This is how we write squared. So gamma cap 2 plus theta cap 2 plus omega. Okay, even for gamma is by a command. That means slash gamma. If I put a capital G over here, it will become a capital gamma. Okay, so you need to know how to put in these symbols, right? For example, here it was a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So what happens is you put your math symbols like this, and the resultant is that gives you a very good retention where you can see this is how your thing looks like. If I write my equation like this, here it's part of the text. So this equation is part of the text. But if I say begin equation, end equation, it actually places it right in the center, centers it nicely, as well as it gives it a number. If I don't want it to give a number, I will just write the equation like this without a begin equation, end equation. So in this way, I can actually put in my things and get things very beautifully done in LaTeX. It's just a question of getting used to it. Once you get used to it, don't be, don't be scared when you see all the commands over here. But once you see these commands, later on, you'll get very used to it. For example, text PF is just text in boldface, hello world, right? So you can see a text in boldface, hello world, right? And so what happens is a lot of stuff, all the stuff happens with basically with, this is section hello world, text boldface hello world. So you can see that this hello world was in boldface, this is the section name. So what happens is it's just a question of getting used to it. As you get used to it, you will realize how convenient it is and how beautifully it makes all your documents. Right? Now, so LaTeX, like I told you, you can go through that book which I showed you. It gives you much more details. Other than that, there's a lot of online help that you can find. So if you actually Google and do it, you can get a lot of online help on how to actually write things in LaTeX. Now let's move on to Overleaf. Now, Overleaf is basically a LaTeX editor, but it is cloud-based. Okay, so basically you need the internet, and you're going to use your browser to actually use Overleaf. Okay, so what happens is that you needn't have LaTeX on your system. You are just going to use your browser, which uses Overleaf, which has LaTeX running in the background. Okay, so because of that, the advantage is that even if you want to work on a LaTeX document using your phone, which does not have LaTeX, obviously, you can use it because you are using the cloud-based LaTeX editor, right? So it makes it very easy for you to actually work, right? For what is the advantage? Number one advantage, what I spoke to you, that since it's cloud-based, you can edit LaTeX documents from anywhere, anytime with just an internet connection. So for example, you're sitting somewhere and you want to work on your document, you just log in through your phone and you start editing it, right? Similarly, you are visiting anybody else, you're using somebody else's computer, you can actually access all your files from that computer just by having the net connection. So you just log into your Overleaf account and you can use it. So wherever you go, you can actually use it as long as you have an internet connection. You could be using a phone, you could use a tablet, you could use a laptop, somebody else's laptop, it's fine. The other advantage with Overleaf is once you've made this document online, it gives you seamless collaboration. For example, if I'm writing this article with a set of another 2-3 people, all of them also have access to this article, right, which I am writing. And therefore, even they can access the same thing, and all of us can actually work on the same document from different places at different times or even at the same time. The other very big advantage of using Overleaf is version control. Version control is that supposing I made some changes to the document and somebody else also makes changes to the document, but I would like to track the changes. For example, say I have a student who's working on it, I want to see what are the changes he made. I can actually look for the document history, the track changes, revert to previous. If I feel that the changes are not good, I can even revert to a previous version at ease and go back to that, right? Similarly, you can use things like Zotero, Mendeley, various to actually get references to citations, etc. So that can happen. But I must now put in a word of caution that now what has happened with Overleaf is that there is a version of Overleaf which is available free on the internet. That's what I have used myself, the free version. But some of these features, typically with version control or even with collaboration, the number of collaborators, it varies with the payment you do. So if you do not have paid payment, there's a limitation to the number of collaborators you can have on your document. Similarly, even version control, document history, etc., even them, there are certain limitations if you are using the free version or the paid version. But like I said, I myself work on the free version. I'm thinking of moving to the paid one, but you can do a lot with the free one, so you don't need to worry about that. So by default, what does Overleaf do? Yeah, so an important question is therefore, what is the difference between LaTeX and Overleaf? Now, LaTeX I can run on my local system. How do I run it? I install some kind of a text editor. There are many things. There are TeXmaker. There are many text editors which you can use. And it doesn't make a difference what is your OS, whether you're using Windows or Linux or whatever you want to use, you can use. And you have a lot of LaTeX editors, even window-based as well as Linux-based. And what you can do is with that, you can edit your file. You can do it like that. Get your whole final document, right? In Overleaf, again, you can do that, but like they have a fixed LaTeX version, which you will use. You can vary that also. It actually lets you do that. So you can actually, it will actually let you do things. So one is what you will use on your system, and one is what you're going to use on the cloud, right? Which is Overleaf. Both of them have their pros and cons, their advantages. Like the biggest one of using your own system is that if you don't have the internet also, you can use it. But for Overleaf, you'll need to use the internet, right? So how do you start off? If you go to Overleaf, you go to this website, overleaf.com. You will have to, if you don't have an account, you can start an account. You click on login, you register, make an account, and you log in this way. And once you log in, you get into it, right? Once you get into it, it will list all your projects. For example, these are the documents I'm working on. It says I worked on it. It even tells me when was it last modified. For example, this document 10 minutes ago by me, this one a month ago by somebody else, this one a month ago by me. So I can even see what are the, supposing you're trying to check your collaborator, when did he work on it? You can actually check on it by seeing it from here. When did that person actually work on it? And then your document is something like this. On this left-hand side, this is all the LaTeX stuff. And on the right-hand side is the compiled version. So here you are seeing what is the result. This is the text with all the commands. And here is the text with the resultant. So you can actually see, and then you can download the PDF if you are happy with it or whatever, you can make purchase. So this is a paper in which here you can see the text and here are the plots, right? So the LaTeX and Overleaf, both of them are very useful for thesis and dissertations because, for example, if you have a supervisor, the supervisor can access the same document. Otherwise, in the good old days, we used to always have problems like, we would have the same document, version 1, version 2, version 3, final version, final version, all kinds of things like that. Here, what happens is you're not going to have many versions of it because your supervisor, you, and the other collaborators are all working on the same document. So therefore, you can handle it with that. This also I will show you. You can make multiple files. Your formatting is automated. You could also pick up university templates, right? There are many of them available online on Overleaf. So for your university, you can look for the templates and you can integrate figures, tables, etc. very easily. So how would you test these? Supposing you have a thesis, you make a thesis folder. You can make a folder for chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, etc. In chapter 1 folder, you can have a text file, which is called chapter1.tex, and you could have an image, which is in the text file, chapter2.tex, image, etc. And you can have it in various formats. It could be PNG, it could be JPEG, it could be TIFF format, various formats. They're all acceptable, and you can put them, so you can make a neat structure of your thesis. The thesis folder, the chapters, the text files, the images, the tables, all of them can be very neatly sorted and put so that your data is organized in a very nice manner. Now, there are many templates available on it. You can find it. I won't go into details. You can choose the ones you like. So, like I mentioned again, that you need to master a few key commands and packages in LaTeX, and that will improve the quality. You can utilize there's a package called graphics for images. For example, you can utilize for citation, there's something called BibTeX or BibLaTeX. There are structure commands, which is, for example, you'll say /chapter, /section, /subsection, and you can integrate it very beautifully to actually create your things. So, like I said, version control is also very easy, and you can do it. There are various templates already available on Overleaf, like, for example, to beamer class documents or customizable theme, various themes, many things are available, so you can choose whatever you like, right? So how do you start off? You'll start off with Overleaf. You'll start with some templates. It'll give you some kind of a template. You can actually then fix up your collaborators, send them the links, and then you dive deeper and then you explore further things and improve it. Overleaf itself has a few courses and webinars which can actually help you to master its capabilities. So you can actually go through that and try to do it, right? So the assignment for this is very simple. I would tell you to pick up a paper you like, and one page of the paper, you need to put it into LaTeX, right? So look at the paper which you have, look at the journal it has. If you have the journal, you would actually get the template of the journal, download the template of the journal, right? And then you can actually use that to this thing. So I can once again just show you just for these things. You can see here is your Chrome, this thing. Like I said, you go to Overleaf. Overleaf will give you a login. I have already logged in, so let me just out. So you see once you log in, you are in this new thing, which I told you. And like I told you, I was on the free plan. I can log out from here. This gives me my projects. I can say I want to open a new project. For example, if you say I want to write a journal article, right? You can see that templates. So I can pick up journal articles and you can pick up a template of the article you want. For example, if you want the publication of Astronomy Society of the Pacific, you can click on this and you can say open as template, right? So now when I've opened my document, you can see left-hand side, like I told you, is the LaTeX code. Right-hand side is the compiled version. So you can see that it is compiled. This is the version of the paper. And if you scroll down here, you will see here as I come down, this is the paper itself. And you can see these are all the files. This is the style sheet file. This is an image. This is the bib file, which is for bib text. And this is the text file, right? So as you come down here, you can see what is the thing. You can see here right in the beginning, there is the document class, line numbers track this thing. This is Aztec 701. So you can see Aztec 701 CLS. This is the style sheet, and which tells it all the details, what font, how to do it. This is the title. This is PSP article with examples. This one, and you can see it's all put over here. You can put your author name. You can put your things. So your assignment would be to pick up, write at least one page article of a given journal of your choice, right? And preferably, if you can add in some mathematical symbols, equations, that would be even better. If you have equations, at least one, have a table, and have a figure, right, as part of your article. And you can submit, right? So I'll stop with this and encourage you to try out your luck with LaTeX and Overleaf. And I hope it